This episode of Off The Script is brought to you by WrestleCrate. WrestleCrate is a monthly pro wrestling-based subscription service, and each month, subscribers will receive a new pro wrestling-themed mystery crate. To go and subscribe, please go and visit their website at www.wrestlecrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother? Hulk Hogan, back in the news and in a big way, confirming that he will be at Wrestlemania 32 in Arlington, Texas, at AT&T Stadium. This is unreal. A man his age, who can barely fucking walk down the aisle, wants to compete at WrestleMania 32. He's all but confirming his involvement with next year's event, man. What am I talking about? We're going to get into the top story in just a little bit. Hulk Hogan, rumored and now fucking confirming himself for WrestleMania 32. I got the full story on that. Thank you so much for joining me here on Off The Script. This is episode number 63, part number 2 for your Saturday morning. If you guys are not subscribed here, hit that subscribe button. I honestly don't know what the fuck you waiting for, man. Really. Like I always say, every week, this is your number one fucking source for all WWE right here on YouTube.com, man. The best damn place for all WWE news, rumors, headlines, reviews, whatever. WWE 2K15 content, it's all there, man. I'm the one that gives it to you, and nobody does it better than JD. And I'm going to steal Joe Cronin's hashtag fact. Okay? Sorry, buddy, I had to use it there. It was called for. Okay? Now, before I get into the news, guys, quickly, I don't want to waste anyone's time because there was goons in the comments section fucking telling me, oh, JD, what's with the 4-minute intro? Blah, 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 blah. You're a sellout. Fuck the WrestleCrate thing. Listen, this is what I do, man. All right? If you guys want 10% off your first WrestleCrate, you go to www.wrestlecrate.com, enter the promo code JD Sent Me, and you're going to get 10% off your first crate from May 2015. That offer lasts up until Sunday, so you better take advantage of that immediately. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, at JD206, to keep up to date on everything that happens right here on, not only on Off The Script, but on my channel, period. If you guys missed Off The Script, apparently David Vonderhaar got a hold of YouTube's algorithm, and nobody has Off The Script in their sub boxes, man. Pissing me off, all right? So if you missed Off The Script yesterday, and where we talk about a variety of things, including Jeff Hardy being, involved in a dirt bike accident where he suffered a broken leg and is going to be out 6 to 8 months. If you guys want to hear my opinion on that, everything you need is down below in the description of this video. So go check that out. As soon as you're finished watching part 2, part 1 is right down there. Okay, now, let's get into Hulk Hogan, all right? Let's talk Hulkamania. Hulk Hogan has long been known within the wrestling world as the man of many teases. And Thursday in Australia, he may have made his biggest one yet. At a press conference alongside Jimmy, Mouth of the South Hart, Hogan said he encountered Vince McMahon after WrestleMania this year and gave him a stern promise. And I quote, "They're going to try and break my indoor attendance record." So I stopped Vince McMahon in the hallway and said, "Let me tell you something, brother." And that's what it says here. I'm not, elaborating on that. That's what it says here, okay? "Let me tell you something, brother. There's no way you're running WrestleMania next year without Hulk Hogan on the card. Whether it's for my last hurrah and it's my retirement match, whether it's for my next run, or whether it's just to beat whoever WWE's got with the title and become champion again. If you guys are in that stadium next year, I am going to be there." And Vince McMahon shook my hand and said, "I look forward to it." Hogan went on to say McMahon has told him he is clear to wrestle again as long as he passes a WWE-administered physical. The 61-year-old Hogan has had a plethora of surgeries over the past decade, including major reconstructive surgery on his back. WrestleMania will be held next year at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. where, as Hogan mentioned, the company plans to break the all-time indoor attendance record for WrestleMania. WWE is expected to have several legends compete on the show. Recently, Ric Flair noted Hogan wanted to take him on at the big event next year. And please, while you book that match for WrestleMania 32, hand me a giant bottle of NyQuil and a fucking blanket with pillow, man. Make sure it's fucking fluffed. Nobody wants to see Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania. Do I want to see Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania next year? Sure, why not, man? If it's his last hurrah, fine, whatever. Obviously, WWE is going to stack the card with legends. This is no surprise. I reported this several weeks ago with a major WWE spoiler for WrestleMania 32, leaks, news, information, etc., etc., etc. But Hulk Hogan wants to be at WrestleMania. He's made no, secrets about that. He wants either John Cena. He wants to be in a match. He doesn't give a shit who it's with. He just wants to be there. Now, how do you utilize Hogan? We don't know, man. It's all too early for all this speculation. I'm not going to sit here and give you fucking ideas about how to use Hogan, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't use Hogan. Period. Hogan is old. Hogan is 61 years old. Hogan can barely walk down the fucking aisle. I don't think anyone is going to want to see him in a WrestleMania match, man. It would be absolutely a fucking snooze fest. He's going to hit his big boot. He's going to use his fucking leg drop again, as always. We don't even know if he can jump in the air to deliver a leg drop, man. We don't fucking know at this point. We don't even know if he can throw a knife-edge chop or one of his Hogan-esque fucking right hands. We don't know. All we know is that Hogan was in Australia, and he wants to be at WrestleMania. He shook Vince McMahon's hand, apparently, according to sources, and said that he wants to be at WrestleMania. You're not going to have this event in that stadium, breaking all types of records without Hulk Hogan being there in some way, shape, or form, okay? But regardless of that, WWE has a lot of work to do for WrestleMania 32, man. This needs to be, without question, the biggest fucking pay-per-view of all time, okay? And WWE's going to make it the biggest pay-per-view of all time because they're going to book legend after legend after legend, and they're going to piss off all you fucking people because, oh, I want to see Dolph Ziggler. Oh, I want to see Bo Dallas. Oh, I want to see Bray Wyatt. I know. That's what you guys are thinking, right? I want to see Dean Ambrose. Yeah, I know. But those names, no matter how great they are, and I'm a fan of the majority of the names I mentioned, okay? Bo Dallas is growing on me, by the way. I like the new beard he's got. Thinking I'm going to shape my beard like that. Looks pretty good, being that he's Bray Wyatt's brother. There's some rumors going around that Bray Wyatt may be involved with Bo Dallas. I don't know if that's really the way to go for those two, but, I heard rumors. I don't know if it's true or not, but if I can find anything, I'll certainly report it here on Off The Script. But regardless of that, WrestleMania is not going to be sold with those types of talents, man. Okay, WWE, and I said this many times, and you guys don't seem to understand me. They need to fill 105,000 plus for AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, okay? You're not going to do that with a Bray Wyatt. You're not going to do that with a Dean Ambrose, okay? You're going to do that with a Rock, a John Cena, a Sting, an Undertaker, a Triple H, a Hogan, who else? A Goldberg, whoever, man. Ronda Rousey. You're going to get all outside fucking parties. Steve Austin, I could wish upon a star and fucking change the course of history, and I'd say CM Punk, but that's not going to happen. But regardless of that, WrestleMania 32 will be the biggest event of all time if WWE, plays their cards right, is patient, and gives us compelling television with storylines that make sense, etc., etc., etc. Okay, Brock Lesnar's going to be there. They got the tools. They got the players to work with. Just give me compelling television. That's all I ask. And WrestleMania 31 was fucking fantastic. If they can duplicate what they did this year, fine. Great. I look forward to it, WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, Texas at AT&T Stadium in April 2016. Okay, next we got news on Triple H. As he progressed from in-ring talent to behind-the-scenes executive and authority figure, Triple H has gotten some flack from many fans for his use of alleged positioning within the company. One of the terms that most often gets thrown around is his supposed burying of several talent. And I know you guys tend to make comments here and there about Triple H with the sledgehammer and the shovel and just burying talent, okay? In a recent interview with the Tim Ferriss Show, Triple H discussed the misconceptions of the term and how WWE books talent creatively. Below is an excerpt, and I quote, "They just see what they see on TV. They see the misconception for me is that I'm very much what you see on television, or I'm this character, or they see the simplistic things of what we do. You know what's funny? Even if you're this huge fan of WWE, they get so upset over things like, well, why would this guy beat that guy? You know, it's just one of the terms right now. He buried him. And you guys know it's true because you all come to my reviews. You all come to my Off The Scripts and my Monday Night Raw reviews, and you use those same exact terms when I'm here trying to tell you, no, Undertaker didn't bury Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. No, Triple H didn't bury Sting at WrestleMania. Okay? No, WWE didn't bury Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. You guys get the point, okay? And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? And he doesn't understand that. You know, it's a show, he says. And what they don't get about our show is that we are like this never-ending, you know, you can't compare it to whatever you want. Comic book, soap opera, TV drama, movie, but it never ends. So there's always another chapter. And they get so upset in the moment of not knowing, or maybe not liking the end of the chapter that they're on. But there's another chapter. That's what they don't understand, he says. It starts tomorrow. It actually started right now when this one ended. You know, and they don't get that. And they can't wait for that. They can't wait for that, and they don't understand all the complexities that go on behind the scenes. So that's probably the biggest misconception, is that we're just WWE and we're just a bunch of guys at its simplest form. That you just go out there to the ring in your underwear and pretend to fight with each other, you know. But when you really break it down, it's a massive global business and operation, okay? I understand what Triple H is saying, but you know, he's trying to maintain good face during this interview. Whatever I read from whatever interview that he had on this Tim Ferriss show, okay? He's trying to keep face. He's trying to make everything look good. But we all know WWE creatively hasn't made the brightest decisions. They haven't made the wisest decisions, okay? You know, you can go back to, you know, earlier last year with Batista winning the Royal Rumble, okay? And all that shit with, you know, the Yes Movement taking off and WWE not realizing that. Oh, yeah, we're going to go with the bigger guy, who's Batista, and we're going to put him over because that's what we want. Fuck the fans. Fans understand, man. Fans gravitate towards certain wrestlers, okay? They believe in certain wrestlers. Some of us see ourselves in these guys that we watch each and every week. Daniel Bryan was one of those guys, man. And WWE didn't see that. They wanted to go the corporate route with the corporate agenda and use the big muscle-bound guy. No, it's not the way it works, man. You can't force something down our throats that nobody wants. You just can't do it. Obviously, that happened again this year with Roman Reigns. I don't know what happened in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania at its conclusion, but WWE said, you know what, maybe this is not the right time. So they made a wise decision, and we got a great fucking champion out of it. We got a great match with Brock Lesnar out of it. So WWE did some tweaking there, and maybe, potentially, they did listen to the audience. All right? But you can't force something down our throats that, you know, is not wanted by the better half of the fucking WWE audience. Over an organic individual like Daniel Bryan, over someone who's organic like Seth Rollins, these are the right decisions, okay? WWE, you know, they want to stretch storylines and pretend it's a book and a soap opera, and, you know, you got to watch next week for the next chapter. Some fans, I understand, don't want to wait. The slow build, I understand, is great, and it all paid off for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. I understand that. You know, we all got pissed. When the fuck is he going to win the title? He's getting screwed left and right. I don't think the WWE is going to fucking do the right thing and give this guy the title. After all that he did. You know, all the struggle, all the beatdowns, all the fucking times he was left laying on Monday Night Raw at the end of the show to close the show. Is the WWE going to make the right decision? Obviously, they did. They heard the yes chants. It took them a while because they're fucking thick-headed and they're ignorant, but they got the fucking point. All right? So hopefully WWE, starts listening to the audience. Triple H is trying to save face. He's trying to make the company look good publicly. He's trying to make himself look good and what they do behind the scenes. He's trying to say, you know what? You're not behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on. Leave it to us. Fans understand the characters nowadays, man. It's the reality era, like Triple H said. Fans are more in tune with the product now because social media is so huge and the fans are a part of the show, tweeting and hashtagging and this and that. We want to be part of the show, man. This is not like the WWE of old. We are now all involved in what's going on. I'm on here giving you guys my opinions and my reviews and what I think of WWE. Most of you agree with me. Some of you don't, which is fine. WWE is an open forum, man. There's no disagreement. We can only discuss. It's a great forum of discussion. But WWE really needs to start listening to the fans. The fans are the people who give you their hard-earned money. They're the people that watch your show week in and week out. They're the fans that are on social media every week, hashtagging and tweeting and following and subscribing to the network. Listen to the fans, man. Half of the guys in the WWE creative team, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I know this for a fact. I don't need to be behind the scenes, man. I don't. Point given, look at the King of the Ring. Look at the King of the Ring and what they did to the King of the Ring. How can you tell me that's being creative? How can you tell me that was a right decision? It's not. It's not. Listen to the fucking fans. Go on social media. Take people's ideas. Come on YouTube. Listen to fucking what I have to say. So that's what I get out of that. He's trying to make the company look good. He's trying to make himself look good. Yada, yada, yada. That's what Triple H had to say about, the misconception of the WWE fan and, the fans on the internet and social media, etc., etc. So, I understand a lot of fans don't get it. And I understand there's some fucking crazies out there. But WWE, and I know you guys agree with me, need to listen to the fucking audience. They really need to start listening to the audience more and more in terms of what to do with the product and who they want pushed and who we don't like and who we love, etc., etc. That's all I got to say about that, all right? WWE CEO Vince McMahon says the price of the WWE Network may rise for WrestleMania in the future as well as SummerSlam. McMahon revealed this information during the WWE Quarter 1 earnings call with investors on April 30th. When asked about the possibility of the WWE Network ever increasing in price, McMahon said that the company may charge more during the months that WrestleMania and SummerSlam take place in, but that they are still looking at the information regarding a possible rise in price. He states that as of right now, they aren't going to increase, but that it is always possible in the future. Other notable information shared during the conference calls included details regarding the highest revenue grossing quarter in WWE history, Quarter 1 of 2015. A lot of this was due to WrestleMania 31 taking place in Quarter 1 instead of Quarter 2. WrestleMania 31 was described as the highest grossing live event in WWE history during the phone call. McMahon and George Barrios also talked about their other television programs such as Total Divas on the E! Network. Total Divas was E!'s #1 show during Quarter 1, and McMahon claims that this was because the Kardashians have been on hiatus. McMahon mentioned SmackDown's upcoming move to the USA Network, and he believes that the new home for the program to USA will definitely help improve viewership. It was announced that there are 196,000 international WWE Network subscribers, with 94% of that group accessing the over-the-top network at least once a month. Barrios would go on to say, from inception to March 31st, WWE Network has attracted nearly 1.8 million unique subscribers, with 74% of the subscribers active as of that date. If you're not active on the WWE Network, there's something fucking wrong with you, man. It's amazing, okay? Plain and simple. McMahon also called the WWE programming immersive when talking about WWE programming ratings and advertisers. He said, advertisers aren't interested in simple ratings. Our programming is engaging. Not just an experience, but immersive. And I fully agree with Vince McMahon there. Congratulations on WWE for having the highest revenue grossing quarter in WWE history with Quarter 1 in 2015. Like I said, a lot of that was due to WrestleMania 31, which was an historic event. Fucking unbelievable event for WWE. And, listen, if WWE's going to raise their prices, which I do see coming eventually, as long as they keep the subscribers from day one at the same price, man. Like, I've been with AT&T for my cell phone, man, for years. I'm fucking grandfathered in, man. I got the old plan, et cetera, et cetera. I refuse to switch over to this new fucking trash that they're giving us. I'm grandfathered in, man. I like my old plan, et cetera, unlimited data, unlimited text, whatever amount of minutes a month. Hopefully WWE does that with the guys who have been subscribed to the network, like myself and many of you since day one. So hopefully that does happen, but I do see the WWE Network taking an increase, and this has been reported several times in the past, maybe to $11.99, $12.99, but even at that price, people are still going to pay. I'm going to pay. Even if they ask us all to pay, I'm still going to pay, because when you look at it, WrestleMania is what, $70 a pay-per-view in WWE right now, in HD is what, $65? $12.99 to watch HD WWE pay-per-views every month is absolutely fucking worth it, okay? With the rumors of WWE live events now taking place on the network, like King of the Ring, that was step one. They got, original programming coming up. There's going to be podcasts with maybe, more Jericho, Austin, who knows, man, who knows? But WWE is trying their best to deliver engaging, original content, and I love it. I love it, man. Plus the back catalogs of everything. You get every fucking pay-per-view imaginable. ECW, WCW. Hopefully they bring the old school Monday Night Raws when that first started. It's amazing, man. If you don't have the WWE Network, shame on you. It is easily worth the price of admission at $9.99, okay? What else did I fucking say I was going to talk about? Yeah, this is speaking of Total Divas, being that Total Divas was the number one E-rated show for WWE. Reports about WWE considering a spin-off reality show featuring John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and the Bella Twins that would be separate from Total Divas is true. It's in response to a story that has been going around since February. You can make sure to catch up on all the reports that I do, man. I usually link everything down below, okay? I usually list 3 off the scripts. The last 3 off the script previously I'll link down below. I know I talked about this. I mentioned it once before, okay? But the Bellas and Cena now have been lobbying for their own show, and it's WWE's idea of a compromise, okay? Cena's team is pushing for him to still attempt to get his own show without WWE's involvement. So WWE is trying to compromise with Nikki and John Cena on that reality show. That whole idea of them, branching off and doing their own reality show, okay? E isn't sold on this idea of Total Divas essentially splintering into 2 shows, but WWE knows they need to do something to keep Cena happy if they're going to block him from pursuing his own shows and still convince him to stick with the company long term. So WWE may be in a tough spot there to keep John Cena happy if they don't want him to branch off and do his own thing. WWE is also counting on the Bellas being happy with the arrangement and that putting pressure on John to go along with it. Obviously, with Cena aging and already picking up outside acting gigs, more opportunities without WWE's involvement could very well become available for the Bellas and John Cena individually. That is going to be a major problem for WWE. I don't think WWE should, put a halt to anything their workers or their wrestlers want to do, man. Listen, it's free to make whatever money you want, okay? They're always going to be WWE. They're always going to be under that umbrella of WWE. I'm sure the WWE is going to, if they want to branch this off into their own reality show, maybe they could put it on the WWE Network. Maybe they could put it on E. Everyone wants to see John Cena. He's the face of the company. He sells. He's marketable. The Bellas, given that they're on the Total Divas program, obviously they're out there in the spotlight now. This is something people, fans of both the Bellas and John Cena would want to see. And it's only more eyes on the company. So I don't understand why WWE would nix this idea and, give John Cena a tough road ahead if he wanted to branch off and do his own thing, man. I say let him do his own thing. It's only good for both parties. It's good for the Bellas, it's good for Cena, and it's good for WWE. More publicity, the better for World Wrestling Entertainment, okay? And that's pretty much all I got, guys. I don't want to go too much into the news because I'm not going to have too much for tomorrow. I do have a big story on Seth Rollins and the real reason why they banned or put his curb stomp finishing move on the shelf for the time being. I really don't understand why this is still being talked about, but I did find exclusive information that nobody has reported about this, and I will reveal that on Off the Script Part 3 tomorrow. I got news on Global Force Wrestling. Jeff Jarrett trying to sign WWE or ex-WWE and TNA talent. Jim Cornette rumored to be working with the company as well. I got full information and rumors going around that Jim Cornette is going to be working with Global Force Wrestling and Jeff Jarrett. And I got news on Ronda Rousey again with this whole Dana White story. You know, Stephanie McMahon was on Talk is Jericho on the WWE Network, and she said some things on there that are pretty important. And it could be leading up to WWE writing a nice, hefty check to Mr. Dana White over in UFC. So I got more news on that and what Stephanie McMahon said on Talk is Jericho live on the WWE Network. But that's all going to be tomorrow, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. Greatly helps out my channel. Hopefully YouTube fucking sends Off the Script to the sub boxes properly this time. If not, you can always follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That's where YouTube, when it fucks up, always follow me on Twitter. I will always tweet out my videos to make sure you guys get them and are readily available, okay? If you guys want more wrestling content, Joe Cronin Show, his Twitter and his YouTube page linked down below. My boy Justin LaBar, Josh Eisenberg, and Brian Gulish, the guys over at Share Reality on WrestleZone.com. Go and follow them on YouTube and go visit their webpage at WrestleZone.com, man. The #1 talk show on the internet when it comes to professional wrestling. And the fine people over at WrestleCrates, man. Monthly subscription delivered right to your door, full of wrestling fucking biblical goodness, man. If you guys want 10% off your first crate in May, just use the promo code JDSENTME and get an instant 10% off. Go visit them at www.wrestlecrates.com or WrestleCrate.com, excuse me, and on Twitter at WrestleCrates, and tell them that Mr. JD over in New York sent you over there to go subscribe to their lovely, lovely monthly subscription, man. It's going to be fucking awesome. I'm hearing good things about May's crate. You're looking like you're going to get an Elite Mattel figure and a t-shirt and a possible DVD. I will definitely be doing unboxings monthly for you guys right here on my channel. Like I said, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys on Sunday morning with Part 3 to close out your weekend right here on Off the Script. And remember, this is always the #1 fucking source for WWE news and rumors right here on YouTube.com. This is JD, and I'll see you guys on Sunday morning. Take care.